This is a video solution for Excel project number 3, question number 2. So in this problem, we're told that a company is able to sell D of P items when the price is P dollars, meaning I input P, okay, and I output demand or quantity. This is the demand function, all right? And it depends on what price I charge, how many items a person may want to buy of my product. Okay, so this is my demand function, D of P. All right, that's given to us. Then it says find the revenue function. Well, I know that I'm inputting P, price. So let's go to my Excel file. I'm going to start at price equal negative 100, just because down at the bottom here it tells me that I have two x-intercepts. I talked about this in class, but so I'm just going to start at P equal negative 100. I'm going to put in my demand function. I need to put my demand function in, that's my quantity. Later down below here, it's asking me about how many items can I sell. So I need to be able to see in my table the quantity of items I sell, the price, and the revenue. So I'm going to input this in. My demand or my quantity is equal to negative 3.99 times the price, which is in cell A2, plus 7,961. Okay, and then revenue is just equal to price times quantity. A lot of people, when they multiplied the demand function by price, they didn't use parentheses when they typed it into the box there, box B. When you put it in Excel, you don't have to type it out. You can just say, I know that revenue is equal to the price of the item times the quantity. So I'm going to have these get filled in. It already tells me down here that I should make sure that my p-values span so that I can see two x-intercepts, meaning it goes through the x-axis at 2 points. And I should also see a maximum point. All right, so I'm going to fill in my table with a series of numbers. I'm going to use a step value of, I don't know, $50, and I'm going to stop at a value of $3,500. Those are prices. Whoops, let me go backwards. I wanted to put that in a column. You can use that little arrow key if you want to undo what you just did. Okay, so I want to put these in columns. I'm going to have a step value of $50, and I'm going to stop at a price of $3,500. All right. So now I can just copy these other cells down by double clicking. All right. And I have a lot of data here. All right. So let's graph this thing. Let's make sure that as the problem asked or told us, let's make sure I can see two x-intercepts and a maximum point when I've graphed this. So I'm going to highlight this whole table. Okay, and I'm going to graph it. So I'm going to insert my smooth line graph here. Okay, so I can see two intercepts. I can see over here it crosses the x-axis, and then I have a maximum somewhere around here, and then it goes all the way down to 2,000. So I can see I don't really need these numbers here. In fact, I'm going to get rid of let's see, I'm going to get rid of this here, so see what happens. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I can, in fact, get more of rid of those negative numbers. So you can, be modifying your table to get a better graph view. That looks even better. Okay. So I'm going to pull this graph up here. And so I can see it at the top of my spreadsheet. So don't be afraid to modify your input and output so that you can see your data better. That looks better than what I started with. All right, so this is my revenue function in orange. My demand function is here in blue. I can clearly see two intercepts, x-intercepts, one here and one over here. So it says now, highlight the vertical intercept of the revenue function, not the demand function, the revenue function. The revenue function is here, all right? The input or the price is here, okay? And then the quantity is here. All right, so this question says, find the vertical intercept of the revenue function. Okay, well, the vertical intercept happens where the x value is 0. So I'm just going to highlight this whole row here. So this says when the price is 0, the revenue is 0. Okay, I don't want to put the demand in there. The demand means if I charged a price of $0, then 7,961 people would want my item. But this is asking me, part D is asking me for the revenue intercept right here, 0, 0. Okay, so that's what I would put here, 0, 0. All right. So then it says find the horizontal intercepts of the revenue function. So the horizontal intercepts are my x-intercepts, okay? It just so happens on this left side, my x-intercept and my y-intercept are the same. All right, so if I want to find my x-intercepts, I want to find the closest output to 0. Well, again, here, 0, 0 is the x-intercept on the left side. It tells us there's two x-intercepts. This one is on the left side, that's 0 and 0. Now it wants the intercept on the right side. So let me look back at my table. I know that it's somewhere around an x value of 2,000. Let's scan down my table here. I want to find the closest value to 0. Getting smaller, smaller. Oh, 1950 to 2000. I go from a positive to a negative. Okay, so I'm going to use solver to set this thing equal to 0 here. Data, solver. I want to set C44 equal to a value of 0 by changing. I want to find the x value. I want to get the exact x value. I want to unclick so that I can get negative values if necessary. And good, I'm going to keep that. Let me format this so I can see that, in fact, it is equal to 0. Number. Okay. So let's also highlight this. All right. I can use this paint can to just highlight it. This says when my price is $19.95, I have a revenue of 0. Okay. So this is the right side, $19.95, 0. My y values are 0 for my horizontal intercepts. Okay, now it says find the maximum point. Well, let's go back and look visually at my table here. I can see my revenue is increasing, increasing, increasing all the way till I get to the max, which is somewhere around 1,000, and then it's decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. Let me look at my table closer to 1,000. My revenue is increasing, 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 increasing. Okay, so it goes here. All right, let's see, 388,000, 393,000, 396,000, 397,000, then it starts decreasing again. So when I look at my table, this is the largest value, but I want the exact value. So I'm going to use solver to come up with the exact value. So I'm going to say data, solver. I want to change C24 to a maximum value by changing my input. So I want to find the exact price and the exact maximum. So I'm going to solve. Okay. And because I'm dealing with prices, I would probably make this 2 decimal places. Okay. So when I charge $997.62, I have a revenue of $3,971.22, and I sell a quantity of 3,980. Okay, I'd probably round that up one because I can't sell a partial item, but for sakes of this question, this is what I'm going to put in my answer. Okay, my maximum point is at an X value of, or an input value of 997.62. Oops. Down here, 997.62. And a revenue, not a quantity. This is asking us for the revenue function, a revenue of 397,1022.62. Okay, so then it wants us to interpret down here. So if you didn't add your demand function, you wouldn't be able to answer some of these questions because it's asking you about quantity sold and revenue. So it says when they charge how many dollars per item, the price will be so high that they will be able to won't be able to sell any items. Okay, so when they charge a price all the way up here, okay, when they charge a price of $19.95, I sell 0 items and I have a revenue of 0. So this is when I charge $19.95, I sell 0 items. That's here in B44, that's my quantity, meaning my revenue is 0, price times quantity. Okay, meaning I have a revenue of $0. All right, let's look at the next question. It says, when they give the items away for free, meaning that my price is 0, we will be able to quote unquote sell how many items. Okay, so when we give them away for free, that means that my price is 0. Here my price is 0. When my price is 0, 7,961 people want my things, but revenue is price times quantity, so revenue is 0. Okay, that is the second part. And then it says the highest revenue they could make is how many dollars? Okay, that's your maximum. That's this last question here. The highest revenue they could make is how many dollars, which happens when they have a price of how many dollars and how many items they will sell. Okay, so we went down here and we said, well, when I charge $997.62, all right, I will sell 3,980 items and have a revenue of 397,1022.62.